Also joining me, Danielle, Riendeau, obviously.
Hi.
We are going to take a look at your new game, though. Jim,
Yes,
which is The Signal from Tölva, a game that we actually took a look at previously back at our Waypoint 72x72 launch stream on October 31st or whatever. We had Chris Dwyer come through, who, what's his role on this?
He's been now marketing and PR guy.
Okay. Well, he does good PR. He pushes the brand, as he says,
yes,
very
he does
well.
Push the brand.
And he was going to join us, but he is sick today. Shout outs to Chris Dwyer. Feel better.
I think PAX got him.
PAX,
I think that's what it was.
PAX got a lot of us.
Yeah.
Sir, you were hunted by PAX.
Conferences back to back. And,
right, GDC
down.
also.
Man down.
Yeah. I was supposed to be at South by Southwest actually this week, and was like, I can't. I'm like, I can barely make it into the office, and I had to like.
That would have been a good
myself.
run, though. Wow.
Yeah, that would have been a lot. And also, I decided like, okay, I can't go to South by Southwest where I'm sure that I would learn that the future is terrifying, filled with things that want to kill me and things I don't understand. So instead, I decided to talk to you about The Signal from Tölva, a game about robots, some of which that want to kill me.
May or may not kill you. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the game before we get started here.
Okay, so this is a follow-up to Sir. We've stuck with the robot theme, but this time it's a far future.
No top hats.
Science fiction, no top hats, but we got to work with a concept artist this time, and that was a guy called Ian McHugh, who just came out of a 20-year stint at Rockstar.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So people will be familiar with him from pictures of gangsters and cowboys and stuff.
And now robots.
And now robots. But his science fiction art has always been just unbelievably cool. And I'm going to name drop heavily here.
Please.
Jamie McKelvey, who was the artist on The Wicked and the Divine comic series.
Oh my God.
I dropped him a line and said, who's the best guy at drawing robots?
Right.
And he said, this guy, Ian McHugh. And oh yeah, he is.
Ian McHugh is like a quintessential artist who draws robots name in my head. Like that just sounds like the sort of artist who would draw robots. Right. You know what I mean?
And his robots are stellar. And to my amazement, when I dropped him a line and said, hey, do you want to do some art? He said, yeah, okay. I'm not doing anything else at the minute. So
it's great when things work out like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
It really feels great. It's like, well, I took a shot in the dark. That worked.
And it did work. And so this has been, Sir was, I think it had great atmosphere, and the vision we had for it worked really well, and the sort of countryside worked really well, but increasing the fidelity, but also being faithful to the concept art this time was absolutely critical for us. And we were really lucky as well to get a 3D artist who previously been doing CGI stuff at Aardman, the sort of Wallace and Gromit stuff.
Yeah.
And so.
And how big is the team?
4 guys, full time.
Oh, wow.
There's a bunch of freelancers as well who've been contributing as well. And yeah, so Ollie came on full time, and he took on the challenge of trying to make the game look as close to Ian's very sort of splattery, painterly, sketchy art as possible. And there's actually a video up on our site of that whole process, which is quite in depth but really exciting, and that we managed to sort of pull that off. I think to create a kind of. I mean, one of the things I wanted to start with was let's make a game where someone sees a screenshot and they don't confuse it with anything else.
Right.
And
it'll be distinctive enough.
We've done that.
We should hop in and see some of this. I'm going to start and then probably hand it off to you for some later game stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to make this. Dylan, type like a different thing here, just so I make sure I'm not saving over anything. Thank you. Good. Test 01. You got it.
I love it. Shoutouts to Dylan.
And this is later this year, April?
Yeah, we're aiming for April. We're in a sort of closed beta phase at the minute, so we're gathering feedback from that, and hopefully none of it will be so terrible that it will delay things.
This game's just burn it. That's what they're saying out there right now. Just got to go back to the drawing board. No more robots, it turned out. People turned on robots.
Be a big loss.
That'd be a rough one.
So we got a little bit of an intro sequence here.
Okay.
This guy is the information broker. He is tied into the fiction that we've got outside the game. As I mentioned to you before, I've been writing some fiction with the sci-fi and horror writer Cassandra Core.
She's great.
Oh, it's awesome.
And you are going to be able to read that alongside the game.
So stuff that's not in the game naturally. There's no codex. There's no like.
No, and there's a lot of stuff that's referenced that is then cross-referenced in the sort of source book. We've got a full-color PDF source book.
Right, you compared it to almost being, you're wearing a D&D shirt right now. Yeah. You kind of compared it to like a setting guide or a world book that would come out with a tabletop RPG that would say like, oh, there's no rules in here, but here's like this rad, fantasy city, or here's this planet that you can do a sci-fi game on, or something like that.
Right, exactly. So we've done that for this. The idea being that we just wanted to avoid lots of tedious exposition, and to sort of make it immediate to the world, in that way that game characters should just already know what's
about
going
the
on.
Stuff in the world.
Have to have stuff explained to them. We've kind of done that, and I think if you want to ignore all that stuff, it still works, and you can still enjoy the world and the action. But if you wanted to figure out a bit more about what's going on, and we do leave what's actually happened as kind of a mystery at the end.
How do you hit that middle ground? So like he just said like, oh, a zealot frigate has crashed, blah 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 blah, and you obviously avoided the thing there of saying, he didn't stop to say a zealot, of course, is a reference to this conflict between these people who believe different things and blah blah blah.
Right.
But at the same time, how do you find the right balance between not giving too much exposition and giving enough for people to be invested in the world and the characters?
Well, I think when you talk to developers like Valve, they always write like a sort of world Bible that won't necessarily be published, but will be the thing that describes exactly what's going on in the world and why, so that the development team know and they can adhere to that and not make any mistakes. So I guess we're doing that, but we're publishing the Bible alongside it. So like I know what we're referring to, even if that's opaque. But I also just think that it just gives it a veneer that's slightly cooler if all the characters are just getting on with their lives and just doing stuff, stopping to turn around and explain to you what's happening.
Totally.
So yeah, the broker continues to chat away with you. The conceit being that you're actually connected to a robot. You aren't the robot.
Okay.
You are
a robot.
You're remotely hacked in. And Cass's novella is actually going to deal with that, so that the ending is
awesome.
Going to suggest who might be connected without actually saying necessarily.
Ooh.
Very nice.
What's up with this? What's up with this guy? This is a good-looking robot.
Yeah,
You're not lying.
That is Tutorial Bot.
Okay.
And he is just hanging out, doing some scanning.
Okay, I'm gonna let him live. I'm not here to. I'm just here to investigate this planet.
Yeah. So you're hacked into one of the factions, and the faction that you're hacked into are surveyors. They're quite chill. They're just hanging around. They're going off on missions to scan stuff. They are looking at the sort of relics and ruins around the world and trying to figure out where the signal has come from.
Made it to the first Waypoint.
Waypoint.
That's the name of our website.
It's like time to Waypoint.
Time to Waypoint. That's the new. There used to be time to Crate.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to carry that forward.
That's right.
From Old Man Murray. Now time to Waypoint. Back. Okay, I could do that.
So how long have you folks been working on this?
It will be 2.5 years next month.
All right. Does that feel like a nice organic amount of time? A little longer than you might think, a little shorter?
In all honesty, we were aiming for last summer.
Okay, I got you.
Happens.
I got you. That happens.
Oh, there's.
Especially with 4 full-time people.
I like that this flashlight looks like headlights or like 2 giant shoulder mounted. I like that these are not just a flashlight.
James will love you for that. The
Robot
flashlight's James's baby, and yeah, he was shooting for glowy eyes.
Very nice.
Nice. Really good. Good sound also. That's good.
We've been really lucky with the sound, actually. I mean, we did quite a bit of it ourselves, but we've had a couple of guys come in and just finish up with the weapons and stuff. And
awesome.
The work they've done has been absolutely brilliant. So we've got that kind of battlefieldy boom and the distance muffling of weapons going off in the distance, and because it's all sort of big valleys and large spaces, having that kind of depth.
Whoa! What's up with this glow thing?
So that's a sort of high value material.
I'll take that.
So you can use the scan mode to check out
That's what this is, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I will note there is a light over here in the top left of our studio setup that is preventing me from reading the tooltips in the top left of the screen.
Okay.
So just so you know.
Don't worry about that. I will guide you through.
Thank you.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of these sort of ruin sites and wrecks and stuff, and the signal is coming from somewhere.
Tölva.
Yeah, but somewhere on.
Is that a spoiler? Is that okay?
So basically, what the broker guy was saying was, we found the planet, but now it's your job to go down to the surface
and actually
figure it out.
Gotcha.
Find that signal.
What quick question. I just realized that I had these lights on, thinking about Sir. In Sir, a thing I always had to be careful of was like, I want to make sure I'm not doing anything that's going to get me seen. should I be being careful? Should I be being stealthy here? Should I be like, lights off?
Oh.
Whoa, what was that? Okay.
That was your shield, yeah. That'll be explained in a bit.
Okay.
You have a shield and an AoE as well as scan mode.
I remember the AoE,
equipment and stuff. But no, this is not a stealth game.
Okay.
We've left all that behind for this one. This is very much exploration and then getting into a big fight.
Okay.
And the fights kind of punctuate it. It's not relentless combat. There's lots of kind of just checking stuff out and exploring.
Yeah.
And that's one of the kind of things you wanted to get away from on Sur. Like in Sur, there was lots of just running for your life and trying to escape. And that was pretty much constant. In this, you can take your time. You can sit back and check out with binoculars. I think you need to hit X on that
on this thing?
to finally scan it.
There we go. Gotcha.
Oh, that's a good crunchy scan noise too.
Yeah. It's,
like that.
it's very mechanical. It feels like things are moving.
Something is running
very
through
quickly.
yeah.
It feels like, you know what it actually sounds like to me is a hard drive spinning. That's like
Yes.
the cases are moving. I can hear the hard drive.
It could actually be that. We did grab loads of those
Good.
kind of sounds to make this stuff. Circuit bent is the music sound designer word that the sound designer guy used for us.
That's a good sound.
So if you hit, yeah, there you go. You can see a couple
That
of
stuff.
bits of stuff.
If I hit
If you go back to the map at this point,
back. Yep.
you
Oh, that's
can
right.
see that that's
Okay.
extended out. Now then, you can at any point decide to take a new robot at any of the yellow points
So
on the
I can
map.
just jump here and
So
say,
you don't have to
hey.
walk up there. You can just jump straight up.
Oh, that's good.
That's real cool.
There's a good degaussing effect also. Okay, so there's just other. Are these
so-
all factional? Are they all tied to whatever faction this?
Yeah,
HQ
you're in
is?
this. There's one surveyor faction. There's 3 factions,
Okay.
all of which end up being hostile to each other. But these guys will be. So the game's not scripted in any real sense. It is. It's all sort of powered by the AI systems. Basically, give themselves missions, and they decide what they want to do, and they will go off into the world,
Gotcha.
and attack bases, and patrol, and visit exploration locations to do scanning and stuff themselves.
Cool.
So the stuff you're doing, the robots are doing as well. And of course, you've got to...
Systemically, a procedure. Like, do they have motivations and goals that they're all just working towards nonstop?
Actually, I'll show you in a second.
Okay. I'm going to equip this regen instead of this AO. Is that okay? Can I switch?
Yeah, I wouldn't
to
use the
this?
regen at the minute.
Okay.
The regen really comes in when you are doing some co-op with the bots later on. So there's an AI kind
Interesting.
of co-op function where you can recruit them to come with you.
Awesome.
And at that point, you'll want to kind of keep repairing them because they'll get damaged
Cool.
in combat.
All right, so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to keep this ignition field, which will be a big
Any of
flashy.
the other 2 are good as well. One causes people to fall back and retreat, which is great for sniping because you can shoot them as they run away.
That's really cool.
Another one sort of just stuns them and they'll wobble about a bit for a few seconds.
I'll
giving
keep
you
the
a
big
good
flashy
chance.
one first, and then we'll see. We'll see what I want. I should keep this sniper rifle, right? Or I guess this is a medium range thing, not a sniper rifle.
Yeah, that's more like a sort of iron sights type rifle, like a fast repeating rifle.
The new one I just got, the Kobold, is that the one that's the fast repeating?
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, I would probably save your money.
I'll save my money. Listen, I want to engage with the system, Jim. I want to see what everything is.
We have a burning question from chat, which is about why the robot blinks sometimes when you're switching things. The lights blink a little bit. Right
Is it just the lights, or
on
is
the
it
flashlight
right there?
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know why.
They're real into it.
Yeah,
This is
okay,
a positive question. People are into the blink.
I think that was more. It's actually got a little kind of like crackle noise with it. I think
Yeah.
it's more like the robot isn't very well made, and he's kind of like coming apart.
He's flickering a little.
The lights are
Gotcha.
going. Because all of these guys are kind of banged up if you get up and close and have a look at them. Now, actually, if you swap your weapon so that you have an X cursor like that, that's it.
Yep.
Now to the iron sights. Now fire on that guy.
Okay.
He
Oh,
just
hey.
walked into one of the tutorial triggers there.
Oh.
Okay, don't worry about that.
I'll
run you
close
through
this.
that
You'll
stuff
walk me
later.
through that. I'll zoom out.
Okay,
and
so
then,
he's going to stop moving.
and then right trigger on him? Or X, what did you say?
Yeah, so if you go left trigger now to, there you go.
Yeah.
So basically you can scan anything in the world, but you get lots of detail off AI. So that's friendly, it shows what his
Right.
name is. It will also tell you what he's doing. So if you're out in the world and you see some guys patrolling around, it'll say,
Right.
this guy's headed to this area
He's going to
check it out.
QMAS Basin.
Yeah, so he's not going to go anywhere actually.
That's this place here.
He's guarding
Right.
this. But if you were to hang around here long enough, then dudes would leave that bunker. They would go off and do something.
Right.
They might be attacking somewhere. They might be going to scan it. One of my favourite things is just to follow a squad and see what they do and see if they survive. And you
Is there an ethical quandary there? Shouldn't you be helping them survive?
they help you, so you know you maybe want to return the favour at some point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But as you might see it here actually. There's some guys down the bottom there. Those are bandits. Then they're not going to be friendly.
Okay.
If you get into a fight here, chances are the guards at the base will hear it and come down to assist.
Do they have just like a sensor range, basically?
Yeah, basically. I mean, at this sort of range, they'll easily hear something, and we'll come and investigate.
It's a nice looking gun.
This isn't really. This is more of a sensor than a night vision or anything. How that?
Yeah, and that has sort of limited timer on it as well. So
is the sun rising? Is that what's happening
here?
Is, yeah. Okay.
The sunrise from Tölva. I like that.
That's it. Yeah,
that's my fan fiction.
Yeah,
we have a sort of we have a full day-night cycle going on.
Very nice.
Now you can tag these guys using the binoculars if you want to do the full kind of Far Cry
Far Cry experience. Yes.
Oh yeah.
What's the?
It's to fire, so, left trigger. Yeah, there you go. See a couple of them having a chat over the back as well.
Hostile.
Gotcha. They are hostile. What are they up to?
Do the lights give you away? Folks are asking.
No, they don't.
Okay.
There's basically no stealth in this.
Gotcha.
What will give Austin away is either getting too close or
they'll hear him.
They'll hear him, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're gonna hear me, all right.
Yes, I think someone spotted you actually. There isn't a lean. No.
Okay. Oh, there's another one. Good looking lasers.
I do love leans, but we're kind of running out of buttons on the gamepad.
Understandable.
Sure. And you are trying to make it so I am playing with a gamepad. It's a PC game.
In all honesty, our pad support on Sir was one of the worst things that we did. So we've worked pretty hard to make it work this time.
I appreciate that.
Good clanking sounds here. Can I loot these guys?
You can't. They're all burned up and destroyed, but you can take the drop resources.
Take their stuff.
Which is just a bit of data that you can then trade in. But that's sort of a cash resource, essentially. You're collecting materials and data, and then later on, that's worth stuff when you visit the bases again. So there's probably a bit more material lying around.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I think that this does just show me all of the glowy bits that I can pick up. Just as a good way of identifying that quickly.
Now, if you hit the map, you're kind of at a crossroads at this point, where you could continue up to that signal at the top. So if you see the little sort of pulse thing.
This one up here. Gotcha.
Yep. So that's one mission. That is kind of a weird little maze thing, which I'm not sure. I think I think Chris visited that on the last
my thing.
stream.
So maybe we'll go this way this time.
Yeah, I think so. If you head to your right,
to Derelict 1.
Ooh.
Yes, although I would actually probably recommend the middle one.
This one here.
That's actually going to get you the Squid Freaker, which is the hacking tool that's going to allow you to...
It's a good name for anything, a Squid Freaker. All right, let's head that way.
Some folks are curious about possible console releases in the future.
We're going to look at that, but we're just too tiny to...
For people plus freelancers.
Yeah, no, I understand.
We were talking to Microsoft just last week, actually, about this stuff. And they're understandably super keen, but we are tiny, and it's hard.
Right. It's hard, yes.
Shale Prominence was such a good name for a place that in the 72-hour stream, we ended up doing a live stream of Dungeon World, a tabletop game that I like a lot, and I named my character Shale Prominence.
Nice.
I'm looking at Shale Prominence right now.
That's me right there. He's undead. He doesn't know he's undead. It's a whole thing. He knows, but he's a little ashamed of being an undead guy.
That's sad.
Yeah.
There was a coming out process.
It was really great. You can go watch that on youtube.com/waypointvice.
Yeah. I'll check that out.
Whoa, what's up with these guys?
So they're just hanging out.
Okay.
They're doing some. There's a lot of activity on the planet basically, and most of it is hostile, but a lot of it is neutral as well. There's a whole bunch of guys who are just here just to check out what's happened.
Interesting.
And those ambient drones are some of that. Oh, someone's seen you.
Oh, I see that. I see them also. We're just trying out the various guns. I know that I'm not using. I could just use this one and win.
Yeah, the pistol's probably a little bit overpowered at the minute. I think.
Oh, is it?
Y to reload.
Y to reload. Okay. Fictionally, what is happening during this reload process?
Oh, and we've got caught in the wall there.
Shit. Okay. Is there a sprint? Am I sprinting? I think
you're sprinting now. Yeah.
All right, good. I instinctively
the top 10% of the analog stick.
Okay.
So yeah, you're basically recharging the weapon from your own power, and you can actually max out your bot with if you get lots of the high level stuff. You can only equip so much of it before you're gonna need to reload that as well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely very interested in the sort of sense of mystery, sort of going on behind the.
If you hit a shoulder button now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's the AOE.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. The mystery of the signal itself. very, very curious about that. And I know it sounded like before we had started, you were talking about sort of building up that sense of mystery. And how do you go about that? How do you go about, writing a game that gives you enough to kind of go on, for the player to kind of go on and be interested?
1 second. Hit the other shoulder button to throw your shield up.
There you go.
I think, or is it B?
No, it's B. That's shield.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's my little blue bar there in the bottom left. Gotcha.
I always play mouse keyboard. So
of course. This is, again, we're doing very important QA work right here.
Yes, but to answer your question, I'm not explaining anything, I think is the answer.
Sure.
Just avoiding exposition.
Trying to rave about this guy.
We put that melee in because on your stream you said, what's the melee
button? And there wasn't one.
There wasn't one.
And now I can hit this guy with his gun.
Yeah,
All right, well, I'm not going to shoot him now. Is he just running away?
He's just running away.
He's like learned that there's just no way he can win this fight. And
you need to take him out to take the base.
Shit.
I'm gonna come around.
He'll come back in a minute, but he's gonna hide. Oh no, you got some chums coming in. Those guys will have been spawned by the other base.
Wait, those are my guys.
Yeah, they're gonna go and kill him now.
All
basically. Right. So you should hopefully easily capture, unless the base spawns more defenders. There you go.
Nice.
So that should.
Beautiful.
Oh no, it has.
Whoa!
There's more people.
No.
It's gonna be more further fighting.
Well, now it's a real fight.
Oh, it is a real fight. Is there a duck? Can I duck? No duck.
Not on the gamepad, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
As I say, when you get
Oh boy.
There's an alarm happening, huh?
Oh boy.
I think you're okay though, because these guys are looking tough.
Did it?
Yay!
Shell prominence
happy
Nice
about that.
work, Shell Prominence.
Nice work. Well, your whole head situation is, okay. It's good. It's a good look for you.
Yeah, they're pretty.
He got
happy
very
about
excited. He raises his arm.
So this will spawn guards now, and they will protect
R-type.
it, and that squad will go and do something else. I'm not even sure what they do after they've captured an area.
Was that a previous squad, or do you mean this squad? Oh, right, this squad here.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something else. It might be worth actually just checking where they're going. They might. They might be. Yeah, I think they may escort you to the next location if you follow.
That'd be great. Let's see.
What does that say? They are heading to Edgevale. Okay, so they're basically capturing bases. Edgevale is the next base along, so you could just stick with them and do more base capturing. So the base capture stuff is almost optional. It's not core to getting to the end of the game. Obviously, you need to capture the bases to have access to the equipment and stuff like that, but you don't have to capture the bases to proceed. You could, you could dodge all the bases and just sort of get through the game like that.
So there is organic life on this planet, besides organic animal life.
There's some bugs flying around. There are some sort of fish birds, and there's obviously there's loads of plant life.
Yeah.
So we did have an important question, not about the game. This is not actually an important question, but in regards whether bugs are meat.
Oh, earlier today.
Yeah.
Do you think that bugs are
a new
meat?
category, aren't they?
Are they?
I think so.
So,
that's
but if you were a
was
vegetarian, would you
going
eat
over.
bugs?
I think you'd be better off eating bugs somehow. Like
I see what
ethically,
you're saying.
bugs are probably better.
True.
My vegan friends always argue that we shouldn't eat meat because the production of meat is sort of super inefficient.
Typically very unethical and
and
inefficient, yeah.
And uses too much water and all that kind of stuff. And bugs, as I understand it, would basically fix that in terms of how much resources you'd have to give over to protein. So
Makes sense.
I say new category.
Yeah. Like a vegan,
like this,
bug-eating vegan?
As an ontological
Like
solution
that?
here.
You like that?
Yeah.
I am a vegetarian and I don't eat bugs, but I
Would you?
respect that. I just...
Is that a big robot
I'm a
face?
vegetarian
That is
because
a
I
big
don't
robot
like
face.
the taste
Oh man!
of
Oh,
meat.
big robot. Limited.
There was a big one, yeah.
That's our biggest robot.
Oh, that's quite a...
He's dead, I'm afraid.
Oh.
This is an expediter. Is that the type of robot it was? See that? The scan. You get all the lore.
Real nice.
I'm liking that I can just scan things. I like that a lot. Oh, that's its arm. That's really good.
I haven't quite finished tagging everything in the world with information, but we'll definitely do that by next month. Yeah, so those guys
are good.
Just hanging out.
Great.
Now, you said they still got that patrol coming down on the left.
Oh,
there.
yeah,
So
that's them. They're
going to head
going
up the valley actually
Yeah,
towards
I'll
where
stick
you
with them.
were going, but they're going to turn off before you get there. I think.
Well, if something bad happens between now and then.
That is a beacon. That's one of our sort of robot calling points. So if you captured that, then you would be able to call in another robot to that location.
Cool. So there's lots of that sort of like using the AI companions to help me go do things.
Right, exactly.
Are there challenges in the game that are like, no, you're just not going to be able to do that by yourself?
No, not at all. A whole bunch of people just play through without any kind of... I mean, that said, because of the way that the AI is always moving around the space, if they hear something, they're going to come and investigate it.
Right.
So
That's cool.
you find yourself being saved by patrols that have turned up, or indeed killed by enemy patrols that have heard what's going on and come in. I think it's more fun to play with some guys with you, but and actually the mission you're going to do now is the one that unlocks the sort of the hacking tool,
right? Which you mentioned.
Nice.
Is there, speaking of cooperative play with AI, is there any plan to do co-op with other players? I know that was like a big wish list thing for Sir.
We're not going to. No, I mean, early on when we were sort of trying to figure out what we could do with 4 people, we considered that, but no, we've built so much of the game to be single player that it would just be a sort of mad endeavor to try and take it apart.
Right.
So yeah, this is going to be dedicated to single player, but everyone on the team really enjoyed doing the multiplayer for Sir, which was a bit of a sort of graft for Dan to rebuild the game to actually make that. But so I think probably next time we'll be looking at something that is going to support co-op. Now, just because the other thing I think is that's going to change the dev process for us completely. Is us playing together. There we go.
Folks are asking if this is procedural at all.
It isn't. The world itself isn't. That's all been hand-built. The procedurality comes from the systemic nature of the robots going off and doing their own stuff. And actually, we assumed, having played Sir loads and loads, that it was the procedurality of the levels that dictated how well people, what sort of experience people were going to have. But having played a bunch of this, I think it's actually the systemic nature of the robots and their interactions and stuff that does. Because the procedurality in the level building was just like having a free level designer. It's like an automatic level designer.
Sure.
Right.
So realistically, people generally had the same kind of experience, but whether that was better or worse or more intense or less intense really came down to the interactions of the AI within that, and that's been the same here.
Absolutely.
Still one left, huh? Is that?
I think you got one.
Wouldn't it have said that I've captured? Oh.
No, because this isn't a capturable location.
Oh, this is a waypoint.
These guys are just hanging out here. Actually, what you want to do is whack your scanner on and go and look in that wreck.
Aha.
Ooh.
This wreck right here?
Yeah, actually, you got the broker there reminding you to do that. Yeah. If you walk
Good.
around the back of that to where it's sort of broken, I think is where.
Oh, yeah, look at that. It's a whole thing. Scan this.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's just one of the. So in the sort of mission descriptions and stuff, the broker's sort of saying, go and check this out. I don't think it's the source, but
hey,
a ship has crashed for some reason.
Right.
You should know why.
There's something going on.
So you got some information on that.
Great. So at this point now, have I gotten? This is ready to hand in. How do I hand that in? Do I just go back?
You can go back to the base, but what I would probably do is you can see on the map there's a little cluster of grey buildings directly to the left.
Yeah, right over here.
Now that's where the robots that you saw before ended up going.
Okay.
So the status of that base is kind of unknown. We didn't see any messages come up, so I'm guessing they died trying to capture it.
Go up to this cliff and take a look down.
I think it's worth going up there and having a look. Yeah.
Sounds good. Is there a way for me to heal more than this halfway point, or is that?
If you go back to the bunker, then you get back to 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if you capture another robot by jumping out to a beacon or something like that.
Cool.
So it's just that this chassis is damaged at the minute.
Right.
And actually, one of the things, if you clear the ambushes, it just bumps that up slightly, or sort of auto repair. So there's actually some guys to your right there who are heading off, doing something there. They're friendly as well. Oh. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a different patrol to the one you saw before.
Yeah, I had marked the previous one, so would that stay marked as?
It might expire after a while. I think it's 4 minutes or something.
Okay.
Like that.
So that last group.
But I would have expected them to have got up here already.
Right, so this is probably a secondary group.
So yeah, this is probably another patrol.
Also do the same thing. What are they doing? Let's see.
So they are. This is definitely a different group because they have a different mission. So there's a big wreck up this valley. They're probably just going up there to check that out. But there's other stuff in this valley, as you can see over there. So they're probably going to get into trouble.
Awesome.
So that base that you can see that you've marked down there, that's also got some stuff going on.
I'm going to actually go kick this off so that the ones who are near me will hear it, hopefully, and come help out.
Yep.
Before they get too far in.
The other residents of this valley will come in as well. That noise is actually some drones coming in. You've got some friendly drones.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Oh, friendly ones, yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to go in there and just start sorting it out.
Nice.
Thanks for helping.
I always love it in games when I can make other systems work for me.
Yes, that is a good feeling.
I like that.
So those guys pretty much just cleared that out. And,
nice work, guys. Hey, high five.
Oh, no, that one's going to bug out.
High five.
High High five, buddy. Oh.
All right, well, we got here. So now I can go in here to turn that in by talking to this terminal.
So if previous, you do that and change your loadout.
This terminal right here?
There's a big fight going on outside.
Okay. Oh, I can't do this.
Okay, so it should pause for this, so you can still go back out to the.
Okay, so first command module. Okay, D-pad right, left. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, but we haven't done enough missions to equip it.
Damn. Oh no. We'll jump ahead at some point and.
Yeah, sure.
And do it. So because I need to be a certain level. I have to be. It says rank requirement 0.
I know, yeah, that's good. I must have moved that down since.
But I do not have the credits.
Have enough funds.
Can I sell anything? Is that not a thing? Is there no concept of selling?
No, there's no selling, but...
if I go out and have this fight, I bet
you can pick up some resources from this fight.
Yeah.
One question keeps coming up are the systems requirements. I'm sure that's going to be something you'll...
Yeah, we're still working on that. They're quite high at the minute. There's some stuff that we need to work on. We need to spend a bit more time on AMD cards and stuff like that. So
sure.
We put quite a high minimum spec for the closed beta because we knew it was going to be fairly hungry at the minute. But most of Dan's job at the minute has just been optimizing and the other thing as well is that we've piled quite a lot of effects on this and working out what sort of graphics options on and off are the most efficient, things like that.
Yeah.
It's been quite tough. Oh, look at that drone out.
Jeez. Buddy, no!
Oh,
he helped me.
Oh my,
okay, that's okay. I can do this. He went over the hill, which is smart.
Yeah, so they've fallen back now.
Yeah, I'm gonna also, do I have the money? What do I need? 500 credits? Is there for me to check? Oh, 465.
465. Oh, there's some stuff there on the ground.
All right, well, here we go.
Nice.
15 left.
We'll find more.
Yeah, there's some up in those wrecks. There is a guy shooting at you from your right there.
There sure is.
Actually, there's some by that red wreck as well.
Yeah.
Is there friendly fire?
There is friendly fire, yeah. Hey, look at that.
That's what I learned how to deal with these guys.
Serious play.
Hey, now I have the thing I need. I needed 500. I have 505. I'll just peek around here and grab some extra.
There's a few bits lying around this. I mean, most of the sort of locations of note will have something to pick up and something to scan.
What in terms of like influence as for open world games, like what were you looking at for this? Obviously, you were coming off of Sir, but this is a dramatically different game. So what were some of your kind of big influences here?
I mean, my long-term big influence are the Stalker games, which I absolutely love.
Again, the kind of factional combat stuff. That's kind of clockwork systems of them all fighting each other without your input at all. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved that stuff, and this is sort of us exploring, like, a couple of, because that game is, I think, is underrated in a lot of ways in that they just did so much stuff, and the mods have done even more and unlocked some of the stuff that they ended up not shipping and all that kind of stuff. And
it is a deep sin of mine that I've never finished a Stalker game. I feel terrible about it.
You need to finish them to appreciate them, but I've had a great time with all of those games.
Back there, actually.
Yeah, you can just jump straight in.
Is it?
So X.
X, right, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we've played most of that kind of stuff. Far Cry games have given us elements of things to think about. But I think maybe as well that the sort of walking simulator-y stuff, like just understanding that people really love environments and exploring, and just exploration on its own can be like a whole pillar of a game is great.
Do you have any particular favorites in that genre?
Well, because of Britishness, maybe I really like Everyone's Gone Through Rapture.
Sure. Beautiful game. Yeah.
So, talk to me about this Freaker. Is this like I'm just hacking other people? I'm hacking other enemy robots?
You can't hack enemies, and you can't hack guys that outrank you. Okay,
but I can hack other units that are just patrolling to have them join me.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, assuming there are some guys left alive here, you can go and pick some up.
I'm actually going to now switch over to this thing, which should heal.
That's right. Yeah.
My friends who are
and
with
James
me.
We hadn't got a health bar on them for ages, but I think James is putting in. I don't know if it's in this build. Hopefully it is.
All right.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's a guy there.
People, and that's not the guy at all. This one is.
So yeah, you need to use the other mode. So don't aim.
Oh, don't aim. Oh, I see.
Shoot to recruit.
Oh.
I know he's a higher rank than you, that guy, so he's going to ignore you. You can't
no drones.
Things, no. So another guy still over there by those traits. He looks like he's a lower rank. They're basically their armor gets more complex as they kind of.
There we go.
There we go. So he's going to follow you. Oh, some more guys just come out of the that pulsing noise was guys coming out. So you can recruit 2 guys at this point.
Yep.
You can go up to 4 if you get the high level stuff.
There we go.
So those guys. So now if you aim,
it's a hey, go over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
they'll run to a point and they'll spend a couple of seconds just investigating that. If there's nothing there, they're going to return to you.
Okay.
If there is something there,
by default, they will stay with me though.
Yeah, they'll just follow you. Yeah. So they're going to run ahead to that point now.
Do they have names?
Yeah, they have
like
little
numbers.
ID tags, which do sometimes spell out names. We had one called Colin that we looked after for a while.
That's really good. Calling this one Devin.
Yes.
And this one, what's this one's name?
Evan.
Danielle. Devin and Evan.
Yep, that's Devin and Evan.
Good.
Yeah, don't get too attached. I think they're
my friends. I'm going to hide them behind this rock.
No, they're now in combat.
No.
They're gonna
okay, well, I'm going to help.
Devin and Evan, no.
Yeah, I think
Devin and Evan go to heaven.
No, I'm healing them.
You're healing them. That's good.
I'm going to finish this game.
You killed him.
Devin or Evan?
Healed him only to take his life.
I did. I have a bad habit of this. I famously
Austin gets attached to robots and kills them.
I killed them. I also once ran over one of my Far Cry 2 buddies, and then on my way out to see the terrible thing I'd done, I opened the door and killed a zebra. There's video footage of this.
No.
I didn't know that, but the doors will actually kill all the animals in Far Cry 2. I'm not going to hand this over to you to jump ahead to a later game save.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
And now that we've seen some of the intro here,
awesome.
And you can use the controller, even though you're mainly a keyboard and mouse player.
I will try and do that.
So Devin and Heaven saw Robot Heaven today.
Great.
Very sad.
Today.
Great.
It was very sad. The saddest part is that I said that out loud. I think is the real tragedy here.
Okay, so the safe game thing did not work.
Oh, okay. Well, that one's rank 1. That's still further ahead than where I was, right?
Yeah,
presumably.
Let's
see if it works.
hope this loads. I mean,
if it doesn't, you can still show things off. I'll still be happy to.
Yeah, we can still run up the valley from where your game was.
I want to know if there's any robo-malaria.
I think this save game is too old, and it's not gonna work.
We tried our best there. We'll just relaunch it. Dylan, can you hop over to the other PC and hit hold down the Alt key. Let me tell you something about working at a media company. No one uses Windows machines. Hold down the Alt key. Hold and then see F4. See? Now while holding Alt, hit F4, and see if that works.
Should work.
There we go. Well, okay. Well now, I added I did add a shortcut to the main menu somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm a liar. Did I forget to actually add it?
Can't see the icon.
Oh, there it is. It's do you see where it says video games above the V over video?
Down by the pad.
Yeah, down to the right, down right. There it is. Double click that.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice work.
So yeah, I assumed that would have my old saves on it, but yeah, I guess not.
That's fine. We load up the one that test 1 that we know is mine.
Good old test 1.
Okay. Well, we'll try and continue from this point.
This is a beta. It's a working beta, obviously. So.
Yeah, we've been changing the save game format, so yeah, I must have broken or brought in old ones. That's a bit of a shame.
Game dev is hard.
It's hard.
How long? I guess
no one should attempt it.
This is your second game that you've built. Second commercial game that you've built, right?
Almost third. Well,
what was the?
We did a little puzzle game called AV-Sec, which was a music sequencer that.
Oh, cool.
That you could play, which was cool.
Awesome.
I'm going to change weapons actually, something like sniper rifle.
Okay. What's your go-to of the ones? Just that other base.
I just like the assault weapons, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, like just getting in a bit closer, and I'm going
to
I'm going to use the countermeasure. That one basically forces enemies to fall back, which is
that
really
seems useful.
It's useful in that when we originally made it, it was the one that we assumed would be the rubbish one. No one's going to use that. But then we discovered actually, if you've got buddies with you and they're getting into trouble, it pushes them back from them.
Oh, sure.
And also, there is a high likelihood that I should probably recruit some guys.
You have the freaker, so you may as well do that.
There is a high likelihood because of the sort of big open nature of the landscape. There's a high likelihood of you getting yourself sandwiched between trolls that have heard what's going on.
And you can like give yourself a little bit of an escape route.
Yeah, so just pushing them back and then fleeing is.
God, I love that sound.
It's not shameful. It's totally fine to do stuff like that.
Are there other tools like the freaker that lets you recruit guys that dramatically change what sort of strategies you might be bringing to capturing a point or attacking a base. Like, for me, like, oh wow, I can bring people with me intentionally. Really changes how I would play this game. Are there other tools in your kind of utility belt here, or is that one of the ones that's like the biggest?
I think that's the main one for us. But I mean, I know a lot of people who play just using the sniper rifle,
right?
And sort of stay back. And one of the beta testers actually pointed out that has, because all the sniper rifles are quite powerful. James, our designer, just loves snipers in any game, and so he's put quite a lot of emphasis on that in this. And the consequence of that is sniping is extremely powerful. But you can't get in quick enough to pick up the resources that you've dropped, and that's a major part of the economy.
That's interesting.
Is visiting those guys. And getting that stuff, and as you get further in, I'm just going to run over and see this guy over here, which is a grumbling dodecahedron.
Ooh.
Same.
Yep.
TBH.
Yep.
Wow.
That's really cool looking.
That's a good robot.
Yeah.
What's his deal?
He's just hanging out.
Neutral? Like not part of any faction? Just
he's just collecting data.
Great. It's the natural state for all robots.
That's right.
Is to collect data.
Mobile data interpolator,
well,
cloud variant. There you go.
Robots.
That's our science fiction name.
Cloud variant is a really good sci-fi name.
Fantastic.
Friends of the Table season 6. That's what's coming.
It's actually been the funnest part of this whole thing is just stringing together words in a sci-fi way.
It's so good. I've said this before, but my favorite NPC I've ever made in a tabletop game was a mech pilot named Territory Jazz.
Oh,
actually,
boy.
He had a daughter named Territory Jazz Jr., which is just so fun to say out loud.
Territory Jazz Jr.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's fantastic. That looks really cool.
Yeah, so
there's a really nice soft light to this game that
really pretty.
Gives it a very painterly quality.
One thing that our whole team is a bit sad about is that our sound designer changed this to not have like a motor noise, but it's got a nice motor engine thing. I might have to put that audio back.
You have to do it now. Now I want to hear it.
Now
I got the melee in this game. Now I need to hear that motor noise. I'm telling you, add it back.
Okay, so this is one of the main sort of thoroughfares. We haven't seen anyone running up and down, but you get quite a lot of patrols sort of heading back and forth. The other thing I should say is that the start of the game tends to be quite quiet in terms of the number of patrols that get sent out. But once you get further in and there are multiple bases sending out multiple patrols against each other and stuff, you get to points where, like for example, just up the end here of the valley we're going up now, I spent 20 minutes, half an hour just defending a single base that kept getting attacked by wave after wave. And so you can really get kind of stuck into that kind of stuff.
Can a faction completely control the map?
Yes, I think it can, yeah.
Could I be the person who plays this game such that I betray my... I guess, because one, is there faction reputation of any kind?
No, there isn't. We messed around with that very early on and just, to make it a bit cleaner.
Could I be the person who runs into my own bases, kills all of my own guys, and encourages other factions to
You could do that. But the surveyors will never actually turn on you because you will always appear to be
you're in one
them.
of them. It's not,
Exactly.
I understand.
Oh, there's another guy.
I don't know what's behind those robot eyes.
Who knows? We'll read the novella.
Wow, exactly. Yeah.
Here's a question that's like, you're burning a hole in my head recently.
No, I didn't need to do that.
Well, I was running away. This first quarter, I'm thinking about trying to write about this too if I can find time, has been filled with games that are interested in robots and AI. Horizon Zero Dawn has that very core to it. Mass Effect Andromeda has it, in spades, right away.
I haven't seen anything
does.
of that game yet.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
We'll chat.
Listen to the most recent podcast. I have some thoughts. The Legend of Zelda, surprisingly, has a great deal of autonomous war machines in it, and the relationship between the people of that world and those machines is important to unpack a little bit.
Right.
And then there's another one that I'm completely forgetting. Danielle, do you remember? Oh, Nier Automata is all about robots and androids and machines and things that are trying to mine
like
humans.
Yeah.
But not exactly understanding what that means. One, what do you think the current moment of interest is in robots? What do you think is at the core of that? And
I think it is that humans are really hard to animate.
That's a good one. Yeah,
Yep.
fair.
as we talked about in our Mass Effect discussion.
We sure did.
You know, it's all coming back to that.
Well, that was like one of the running jokes about the Mass Effect animation is like, oh, it looks like an android. It looks like an alien android specifically, in that it's so uncanny in movement these characters are. What's this like? What's this?
I'm almost certainly going to die.
Oh, that's what that is.
Sandwiched, as I was saying earlier.
Overwhelmed.
I was trying to run up. There's actually a friendly base up here under an enormous spaceship, so I was just trying to run up to there.
But now you can just jump back to Radio Trench, also a good name.
Yeah, so I'm going to get dropped off here by a little spaceship. And we should see that flying away.
Okay.
There we go.
Here's a question. When you hop out of the drone that you're in, we'll get back to the robots and thinking about robots in a second, but when you jump out of the robot that you're in, does that drone stay in the world, or does it get erased?
In a branch of development, it does. That is not in the ship game at the moment.
Okay. You're just trying it out and seeing how that...
We would have to put some limits on, like, how that sort of works.
So that weird people like me don't use it to break the game.
Right. Yeah. It is potentially a bit breaky, but obviously it kind of it completes the fictional loop. So
yeah.
We all want to
respect
that
our
at some point. Even if it's just, oh, these are actually friendly guys. Okay, and they're engaging something over there, and we're just going to keep going and hope they distract everyone. So there's a lot of this kind of stuff with guys sort of engaging each other across the... This sort of area, because it's a big like crossroads, you're going to get lots of that kind of skirmishing and fighting going on between different factions. There's a whole bunch of bunkers that feed into that area, so they're all sending out missions to either attack each other or visit different locations.
This is another giant robot.
Yeah, okay.
Bit the dust over here, I guess.
Yeah, let's have a look at this guy.
So there's a big one. It's like kind of a crash test dummy vibe happening here.
So that's the head unit of a Kurgic Loper.
Oh.
Should recruit that guy and turn this whole thing around, let me tell you.
So you've got something going on
It would be the mecha thing for you.
It would be the mecha thing for me.
There is a living big robot that we haven't revealed yet. But
somewhere in the world,
the beta. That's actually, there's more than one actually.
Oh wow!
But the beta guys have been very good about not spoiling that for anyone.
Very nice.
So yeah, the base that we're heading to has sent out a patrol. It's heading this direction. You can see those guys coming up the valley there.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the main surveyor ship. So obviously the surveyors have turned up here and said, right, we're taking over. But there's a couple of other big ships as well hidden away in the landscape. So you can find as you go, and they belong to different factions and stuff.
I'm still like, my gears are turning about the notion of robots here, and the notion of AI, and the notion of pilots and drones. So a thing here is, you're playing an operator who is taking over these drones.
That's right.
We have no idea what the identity of
and you could be another AI.
is.
You're not necessarily.
So that's my question. It's like, one, not my question, but the things that are turning in my head. We don't know if you are an AI or if you are a organic something. Or something in between, or who knows what. An algorithm. We don't know, right?
Right.
We also don't know that about the other characters, right? Or do we, because we can hack them, that suggests that they do not have operators?
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that most of the drones are just sort of like dog-like intelligences that just look after themselves.
They have like limited.
And they have a kind of biomimetic structure where they're automatically mutated, so that when they're built to a slightly different spec, with slightly different brain, so that the system naturally produces better or worse bots, and the worst ones will die, and then the better designs will continue and stuff. Well, that's how fiction for anyway. And the result is you get
the result is
weird.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Well, because like we're not jumping in at the end of that sequence necessarily. We're jumping in the middle, where there are still some weird vestigial head units, and maybe the eyes aren't perfect yet.
So these guys have already taken this base, so you don't need to worry about capturing that. But it does give me an opportunity to recruit some guys.
How often when you let the simulation run does the same outcome come out? Like, how deterministic is it in that sense of like, can I count on, if I start a new game and walk through the same basic steps that we have here today, this specific base at this point being captured?
This one's actually set up to be captured.
Okay.
But in terms of the ones that
or just in the world.
the ones that are just sort of in the world and will be. I mean, this base could be recaptured if one sends a mission up here. But yeah, I've set it specifically to already be surveyor. If, if you're just sort of coming into this area. There are specific bases that we always get a big fight at.
Okay. And that could go either way.
In fact, yeah, let's go and run over to one of those at the minute. I'll take these guys with me. Yeah, the ones that we recognise that are going to just because structurally the range of options for the bots means that they're probably going to send a patrol there to be a fight.
Yeah.
That happens a whole bunch, and as you can just see, just look down this valley. There's another base down there, which I'm not going to bother going to engage at the minute. But beyond that, there's a whole bunch of gas and sort of spores and stuff.
I can see that.
And that's one of the sort of locked off early areas. So you have to upgrade hazard systems.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a stalker's gas mask, basically.
Right. Wink. Different thing completely.
I'm loving these little bugs, these little glow bugs here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of bugs. So this is cool, actually. We've got guys with me and another patrol that base has sent out.
Oh, so you're just going to really roll deep. Whoa, a drone just dropped in.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
They just fall out the sky.
Oh, right. Well, you're above. You're right below this
right.
supply ships, right? So, are there things like the zones of Stalker where things get a little weird?
Yeah. There's 3 specific zones with that kind of stuff. My favourite is another one, Dirac corrugation. Dirac being the quantum physicist. Up in the north. That's actually got one of our kind of sort of surprise elements, I would say, in it, and it's also sort of radioactive, so you get loads of kind of trippy effects and stuff.
Yeah, we got a related question if there are any weird artifact/entity encounters.
There is one. There is an entity that we haven't we haven't revealed yet.
You said there was no stealth in this game. That guy was real stealthy, if you ask me.
Yeah, he was just in the long grass, wasn't he? He's not going to survive long there. Yes, there is, basically. There was also, we've shown it hundreds of times, but it's really subtle and people aren't noticing it. So there is another entity on the planet that is there all the time and is watching you.
Right now.
You've actually seen it 3 times so far, I think, in this stream. But
scrub the footage, Lost fans.
It's tough to notice.
It's definitely those bugs.
Right,
it could be. There are like really glowy bugs. I don't know. Oh wow, spring man. I really love the laser effects a lot. Those are really bright and good.
Oh, I think we cleared up there.
So one of the things, again, like not to keep talking about Zelda, but one of the things that was surprising to me about Breath of the Wild was that it brought in players who normally don't do the like make my own fun style of play, and captured their attention, and kind of got them to do that sort of play that they would normally feel overwhelmed by or ignore or just not be interested in. When you make a game like this where like, okay, there isn't a lot of explicit story content, there isn't a lot of like, go here now, go do this. The joy of it seems to be like, okay, I'm gonna make my own objectives and go pursue those. How do you best bring in a player who maybe hasn't played a lot of games like that before, who doesn't know the joy of what a Stalker or a Far Cry might be? Like, how do you entice them?
Well, I think this game is it's more accessible than Sir was, definitely.
Sure.
And like I think our sort of take on this was if the combat is fun enough but it doesn't put too much pressure on the player, then almost anyone can pick this up and the opening is the enemies are relatively weak. They're not going to put too much pressure on you. It's fun to just kind of poke around with a flashlight and look in some sort of dark places.
Right. What did you get for doing that last scan just there?
Okay, so that is that's another one of the sort of signal missions. Right. So basically, the surveyors are providing you with a bunch of locations that they're investigating anyway, and they're sort of saying, go and take a look at these, take some readings. The whole time this is happening, the broker that we saw in the intro sequence, who is the guy who has illicitly connected you to what's going on, is also commenting on that sort of stuff, and he's very skeptical. He starts out sort of saying, I don't really believe that this signal will amount to anything. And then as things go on and you collect more data, he starts sort of saying, oh, I think maybe there is something going on. And then the sort of denouement for that is him urging you to take a specific choice at the end of the game. you don't have to do what he asks, and what you decide basically will decide the fate of the planet.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
hello.
Hi. Friends of yours?
Sorry to drop in like this.
Thank you. There it is.
Folks are asking if there are ways to get around the world other than walking.
No, but you can ping around between any of the beacons and bases once you start capturing them. So all the area we've seen so far, it's very easy for me to just leap back or leap out to the edge of where I've explored so far and continue from that sort of point.
Vaguely related. Is there do you feel like the basic gameplay, not loop, but like the arc of play is about exploring a space, clearing out a base there, moving forward and clearing out another space, or do you imagine players? Is there a reason for a player to come back to this place once they've been here already and kind of?
I mean, as you're passing through places, you will, you'll lose bases and things like that. Okay. The bases are sort of there more as a, they're infrastructure for you, but they're not critical infrastructure.
Your little
turret's getting a bit feisty.
Yeah, that turret is
nasty.
Whoa.
Oh.
What I'm going to try and do here is the turret isn't going to be able to hold the base itself. So if I can kill the guards, I should go. I don't want to shoot that. Oh, it's the auto aim freaking out.
Oh man! Oh man!
Oh,
it's getting tense.
Shoot that guy!
Oh no!
There's a lot of them.
I'm gonna have to run away.
No, you're not going to make this one.
I think I'm just going to have to go down
zigzag pattern.
Yeah, that's me out.
There it is.
Yeah, what I was aiming for there was to take the base sort of from under his nose, and then it would spawn defenses, and then I could use that to take them on.
So yeah, I guess the other thing there in terms of just like coming back to places or locations in general is, I know one of the things that early SIR players, one of the responses I saw a lot to SIR was like, oh, I can't go inside these houses. I click on doors. I'm sure you saw that.
That's our main running joke.
Yeah.
I've thought of a way you could go inside the buildings. Was it? Yeah.
Right.
Ongoing.
People on Steam said, well, why didn't you just do blank? It's like, okay, well, you don't.
Game development is hard.
Right. Are there buildings I can go inside in this game besides like?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Are there, but more seriously, are there locations that are sizable interiors or that are hand-designed, not dungeons, but are like, because in Stalker, that is absolutely one of the most memorable things for me.
Yeah, those who played Call of Pripyat will be aware of like an interesting location called the Garden, which is very weird, and that kind of inspired us to do some stuff in this, which is also weird. Like the interior spaces are impossible spaces. We used a whole bunch of portaling and stuff to make mazes that are impossible. So like the one we missed actually at the top, which I'll perhaps leap over and show in a sec, is that one you fall down and down and down and down, and then come out the top of the tower and stuff like that.
I love that kind of stuff, personally. It just feels sci-fi. It's a way of actually sort of embodying the feelings of wonder, and this isn't quite the world we live in.
Fix that
through gameplay.
That divot's not supposed to be there.
I think probably the player would get stuck in that. So I mean, perhaps need to fix that. Yeah. So is there anything around here? I think maybe some bits over there.
Yeah, it's a little glow around this corner. It's a purple glow.
The purples are always worth picking up.
And is that always just going to be basically resources, money, or credit, like whatever the...
Yeah, that's right. It's just you cashing that in with your faction to get... So the missions are... I mean, it's a really familiar unlock system in that it's a wave of missions that allow you to access stuff, but then you actually need the resources yourself to purchase it. Once you have it, you always have it, and that's that. So yeah, things get quite dark at night.
They do. Is there any way to advance time other than moving through the night?
There isn't, no.
Okay. Like in real life, I can't.
You've got to survive.
Right. Yeah. I can sleep, I guess. That's sort of like a limited form of time travel.
Sleep.
For my consciousness.
Yeah.
So.
That's one of my favorite, while we're referencing Stalker, that's one of my favorite mods is the sleeping bag mod, which is actually just them unlocking stuff, I think, from the original game that they never shipped. Huh. And you can just go and find somewhere and forward back time.
Yeah.
Which I wish had been in the native game. I think that would have been a very cool thing.
Here's a question though: is what sort of mod support are you thinking about having at launch?
We haven't really thought about that, but That said, Unity isn't the easiest platform to mod, but even within that, people modded Sir pretty successfully.
Right.
Used a whole bunch of tools to sort of take it apart, and I mean, obviously the game did pretty well, but it wasn't like a huge mod scene or anything. But it definitely, definitely gave us some things to think about, and people changed a whole bunch of stuff. And I imagine they'll do the same this time. Well, I hope they will.
Nice.
We'll see. Okay, it's another dodecahedron just wandering around in the grass.
Chill.
I really like those guys.
Good sound on that.
Okay, I'm being cautious here. There's another one.
I just love the way they just roll around. Like, hey.
Yeah, I think those little dots of light that we can see out there are another patrol. I'm not sure that I want to engage these guys. I think there's quite a lot of them. I kind of want to take that base up there. Yeah, let's just go for it, see what happens.
Right, you don't have that sniper rifle because you have the Krieger.
Yeah.
Does anybody get more inventory, or will that always be
that's
two?
That's your choice, basically.
Thanks, Halo.
It's Halo, yeah. I'm gonna.
Halo's fault.
Yeah, I wish I should probably have swapped out and. Oh, these guys are. I don't know, I think I'm gonna be all right.
It's a great effect on the gun itself, the sort of flowing power as well.
Sniper rifle guys are always going to try and fall back from you, keep distance. It also means that it's easy to...
Caught him reloading.
Nice.
There we go. So that's going to come up now.
Nice.
Now, at the top of the hill, there's going to be another base, which I'm going to try and take. And I know from experience that this is one of the hardest ones to capture,
especially with like starter equipment.
Yeah, starter equipment, and I'm not going to have any
backup. Right.
So we'll see how this goes. If I die again,
you got a full clip.
We'll jump somewhere else.
Here's another robot question.
Yeah.
What is the level of robotics in daily life that you think you would be comfortable in your lifetime? Because I want to open that up. Like, we can talk about 300 years from now. Who knows what the world is like? Who knows what degree of what the economic situation is like? What sort of robotic advancements we can have by then? People can change over time and adjust. But in your lifetime, how far is too far for?
I don't know if there is a too far.
I think you're just ready to go. Full automation.
I think I was born 1,000 years too early. I'm living and. I need there to be
living in these primitive times,
a robot race that is just hanging out.
You would like one of the people on this couch to be a robot,
why not?
Ideally.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I think I managed to do what I failed to do at the other base.
Whoa.
Which is to capture it under the nose of the
turret.
The turret.
Very nice.
This is pretty cross with me now.
Yeah.
But I should get some backup in a few seconds.
Somebody says, just keep robots out of the arts. Someone said. I don't know about that. Robot art might be fascinating.
Well, this is the problem here,
isn't it?
Yeah.
We were kind of doing that already.
I think it would be very interesting. It is very interesting. There are definitely algorithmically generated poems, and there's a game that makes another game, as Tanya Short was telling us at the PAX, at the panel we did on authorship. But the thing that we need is like, all right, well, what do we do with the journalists? So that we're not all replaced, or if we are replaced, how do we make rent?
Right. How do we live?
But then you're getting into deep politics there. Because
yes, I am.
That is, do we have a universal basic income
or do we do? Yeah.
Or are robots taxed? Right.
Robots could be taxed. That's true. That is a premise. That is something that's been put out there, right?
If robots are taxed, and then so this might help me while I'm waiting for the.
There you go.
I think you should answer that question too, though, Austin, of what level of robotic is actually comfortable.
I think I'm theoretically like Jim in that, like, if tomorrow we figured out robotic consciousness, I would want myself to be, Austin today would want Austin tomorrow to be the sort who would be comfortable with there being a robot coworker and would understand that that would be a different thing than a human. I wouldn't try to reduce it to being like us. In some ways, but I would also want to give it its own, give that being their own rights and all of that. But also, I need to pay rent, and so I can also imagine a world in which I'm not as good as I hope I would be. And not just me. My family needs to pay rent. My my friends need to pay rent and eat food. And I don't know that I trust the current system not to like kick them out on the curb in order to
make way for the robot revolution.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Automation is incredible. Automation has gotten us very far. It's just that sometimes society doesn't keep up with reorganizing itself around the ways in which automation.
Right, but presumably the pressures that creats will, it's the tipping point kind of thesis, isn't it? That's
what the accelerationists believe, certainly. Or like this is the thing, like the Luddites, right? Were right in the short term. Lots of people lost work and starved and suffered, and then things are kind of like, oh yeah, we figured out.
Transitions are tough.
Transitions are tough.
Yeah.
I can't think of. There's some guys. I think it's is it the Long Now Foundation who have been set up to have like a sort of 1,000-year view instead of a kind of next election cycle kind of view.
Right. I think that's a perspective that's
long
very
views
useful.
are great,
but also that sort of long the thing that I think about a lot is. What was that? There's that one great line at the start of Rogue One where the lead character says like, "Yeah, I haven't had the fucking privilege of having politics." She didn't say "fucking" because it's a Star Wars movie,
right?
But it was implied.
That was in
She's
there.
She's like, "I don't get to be involved in politics. I'm trying to figure out Tuesday."
Nerf herding. Maybe I don't have the nerf herding privilege.
I don't have the nerf. Thank
like
you.
that one?
Is that Star Wars swearing?
Yes, nerf herding. Yeah, you can call
Star
something.
Wars.
Whoa! Look at that shield on that guy.
Yeah, so we've reached a point now where they're starting to get more equipment.
Right.
Yeah, and that.
But also, here's the dilemma. The real dilemma is, I fucking love robots.
I know. You like your mechs.
I like mechs. I like robots.
Mechs are different.
They're a different thing. They're piloted.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like you like that.
Everyone
the
will be
possibilities of that world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like them fictionally a lot, and so it's a real dilemma. Maybe what I should be afraid of is the opposite thing, which is, what if my love of things robotic would actually prevent me from seeing from anticipating a potential robotic disaster?
Right, when they rise up.
When they rise up, or when we push them down too hard and then they come back at us.
Right.
Also, something that appears in the fiction for this. It's one of the.
I'm very excited to read that.
Our explanation of what happens to. I'm gonna. Oh no, not that one. I'm gonna. I'm not gonna explain this, but I'm gonna. Hopefully.
Although QMAS Pocket sounds like a sandwich store in Quincy. Oh my.
So we've actually had this guy appear a few times now during the.
I think he may have appeared in the 72-hour version of the stream too.
Yeah.
Or else I saw him somewhere else at some point.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
Quite possibly. You'll actually see him in Ian McHugh's art as well. He appeared in the. He appears in the concepts as a kind of. One of Ian's favourite things is tiny dude next to vast structure.
Yeah.
Juxtaposition, and we've created a fiction for him, and he has lore and a reason behind what he's doing, which is actually. He's figurable out from all the text logs and stuff in there, but it's extremely obscure, and I wonder if anyone will get it. And the person who actually comes up with the specific analogy that I was going for, I'm going to give some kind of prize, I think.
Is it the knowledge of the location of the real robots that you've been building over the past 2 years?
It is not. But it is an explanation of, it's related to an explanation of what's going on.
So
yeah, I also now remember one of these labyrinth places from our previous playthrough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris came up to this one. So yeah, we haven't gone up, we're now upstairs.
Okay. That's not how, that's not how geometry works.
And now we're going to drop down.
And be... Do you just have this mapped out in your own brain really well at this point?
I've done this many times, but the one thing I would say is one of these mazes is so difficult that I think the tiniest percentage of people are ever going to get through it.
And it has completely optional, obviously. Right?
Yeah, and if you get stuck, you can just teleport straight out.
Right.
Nice.
What is the reward for that one?
It's basically our best. Well, one of our best secrets. It's a really cool interior space with a little bit of lore attached to it. yeah, I will be fascinated to see whether anyone manages to do that.
Jim, I think I have to head out, unfortunately. I have another meeting this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this game. Danielle, you can feel free to keep playing and talking, or we could wrap up now. I don't know what your afternoon is like.
Well, you know, I feel like we're in a really exciting place here.
Yeah.
We saw some really cool stuff.
We saw a lot of robots. Look at all these guns we've unlocked.
There is basically one more thing that we could run up to.
Let's do one more thing, and then we'll.
That sounds good.
And then, should I take some dudes with me? Do we like dudes?
Dudes.
Yeah, let's have.
Yeah.
Let's have
like
some
dudes.
guys.
Bring some of those dudes.
Okay.
There is a fascinating conversation going on in chat about robots and art. Folks are talking about whether glitch art actually counts as sort of like fully human art, or is it
all art is collaborative from the jump, because you
had to learn it from someone,
and you have tools. Right, you have to learn it from someone. You have tools that you're working with that limit and encourage different sorts of creation, and the receiver, the audience member, is also collaborating with their own experiences, expectations, and beliefs.
I learned that in Roland Barthes. Yes.
Right, and so. Yeah, I think
But the interesting thing about glitch art is because of it being a sort of mediated technological art, that implies that I can't think. Was it James Brindle called it the new aesthetic?
Yes.
So the robot mediation would then presumably provide us
another
with
layer
another layer of mediation.
Absolutely,
and not just sort of obviously not just glitch stuff, but robot perception then repackaged for human aesthetics and stuff like that.
Totally. The thing I think about a lot is that we are at the point where we can very easily create visual art that can exist at a level of detail that we as humans will never be able to perceive. That like we could create art at a high enough resolution that with tools that let us like zoom in and make changes that no human perceiver could, or no human receptor could actually perceive.
That's incredible.
But that a theoretical being who did have different powers of perception could, or we just do that now with things like sounds and animal.
Well, that gets to be our sort of technology-mediated evolution in the future, doesn't it? Like people who.
I've gotten this upgrade in my head so that I can go really experience the Louvre.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the new cyber art.
Transhuman art experience.
The PS4 Pro of the Louvre, if you will.
Right, exactly. It's just in your head. Are you going towards a radioactive place?
So we haven't shown this before, and I think the guys who are probably watching this back at home are going to be going, no, don't do
give this away.
But I'm going to do it.
Oh, man.
Oh. It's a blood moon.
This got very creepy, actually.
Yeah, it did. Oh, shit.
Scan that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you have your guys here. Some troubling footprints in space-time, huh?
Oh, shit.
All right, my guys are going down.
More than simple radiation contamination.
Oh, no.
What?
I've just managed to de-recruit them.
Oh,
I habitually hit reload, which on the
on this device
on the Squid Freaker is go away. Okay, so
I like to imagine they were like, nah.
Exactly, they were like,
they will do actually if they get hit.
Go back home.
They're just going to back off.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is really cool. Oh my God.
You shouldn't be here.
The sounds
The sound
are
work is
incredible.
really fucking good. Is this a third faction? Is this something else entirely?
They are part of one of the factions.
Okay.
In that they won't attack one of the factions, but you don't know which one it is.
Interesting.
In fact, I think we're going to see, yes, you can see that sort of bit of laser fire going off. That is another faction engaging it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that?
So you see, there's a bit of light kind of flickering. Yeah, there's a green light going in. That's the rifleman on the other hill, which would be another faction again, engaging this guy.
Bit of an enemyism of my enemy right here.
Yeah, he hits really hard, so I'm going to
back out.
I'm going to let them take some punishment, I think.
There's almost like a grainy, like found footage quality to this space that I like a lot.
Yeah, Tom's had a lot of fun doing sort of the post-processing stuff in these areas. There's a sort of quantum anomaly area later that gets all kind of weird and distorted.
You had me at quantum reality. Please direct your lasers to that cinder block and.
He's nearly down.
Almost got him. Will that respond to your flee? Whoa!
No.
Oh, you did it.
It won't. Although
you should go get the resources there before they do.
So I'm just going to ignore them for the minute and let them fight it out. Because over this way, that's what we're actually looking for. Although chances are they're still going to be pretty cross, and they might see me.
Oh man!
Just get in and out. That's all.
But yeah, that's.
Is that ship? What's that ship over to the right? Is that the same ship as before? That's a different ship.
Yeah, that's a different ship again.
Okay.
And that's a derelict. That one.
Okay. That's just
there are some other ships around that sort of size that turn up later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and do this. But yeah, that's the first of our kind of larger encounters.
This is one of those questions that is both genuine curiosity and also I'm sure people watching are curious. Like, how long is a playthrough of this game right now for an average one of the beta members?
I think people are getting through in about 6 hours, but that's not 100%ing it. I'm not sure.
Right. That's not like capturing every base and getting every upgrade.
Yeah, I think because you don't have to do all the missions to get to the end.
Right.
It's basically once you've unlocked enough suits to actually access those areas, then you can just get through to the end. So you can ignore a chunk of the map if you want to. But yeah,
awesome.
Certainly it does take quite a lot longer to 100% it. There's also tons of offbeat secrets and sort of little places that you won't necessarily find on a single playthrough. So I mean, we're hoping people will want to jump back and just go through it again just to find some of the stuff that they hadn't found before. And there's a little mausoleum to my cat somewhere in the game who died during development.
Oh.
That's sad.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Why did you laugh at the cat?
I thought
I hadn't revealed that.
Danielle.
I'm sorry.
It's a very funny joke.
I really thought you were joking for a second, and then
and then it hit you.
Then it hit me that it was real.
We have a
I'm so sorry. I have 2 cats, and I love them more than anything.
Okay. No,
I really thought you were joking.
You had a good life.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's our second.
It was a robot cat.
It's actually.
I really thought you were talking about a robot.
To be entirely serious for a second, that's actually our second tribute to someone. In Sir, one of the backers' brothers, died, and his tribute to him was to ask us to immortalise him in the game. So, if you go to the castle, if you go to the castle biome in Sir, there's a big statue, and that's a tribute to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really nice.
I'm excited now to find the.
That's one of my favourite things that we've done, actually.
That's really, really nice.
Yeah. So this whole area is.
Toxic
and weird, and there's some more stuff going on down the bottom.
That's exciting. It's thank you for showing off this new area, because there's definitely, I like that first area quite a bit, but also I've seen it a bunch at this point, and so it's like, okay, like I get it, kind of like a Painterly Canyon filled with robots, and then you stepped into this zone and immediately it was like, oh, there is more happening here.
Yeah, there's a whole other kind of like a sort of Monument Valley type kind of biome, which is sort of on the far side of the map.
Right.
We haven't shown a lot of that. There's a few screenshots of it out.
Awesome.
Those things. Ow, they're going.
Whoa.
Bite me.
That's so good. All right, Jim, I think at that point, we don't need to show off more things, or else your team is going to kill us.
Yeah.
Probably. Thank you so much for coming through. This has been really fantastic.
Okay,
I'm very excited.
Yeah,
April-ish.
April-ish,
yeah.
Price?
$20.
$20. That seems like a good price for something of this size. I'm very excited to give it more hands-on myself in the future.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
It's amazing.
More
yeah.
having me on. Where can people find more info?
So we're at Big Robot Ltd on Twitter, and that's our main kind of outlet. And on the actual Big Robot blog, I'm just going to post a big thing next week if you want to read some more about sort of the development and why it came to be like it is, and just some thoughts on indie development and stuff.
And it'll be on itch. It'll be on Steam.
It'll be on Steam. We're wish listable on Steam and on Good Old Games at the moment, and we'll be on Humble as well.
Great. Thanks so much for coming through, Danielle.
Thank you, Jim. This is
cool.
great.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For talking about robots with me. Anytime anyone wants to talk robots with me, listen.
Austin's down.
I'm right here.
Swing
through. All right, we will catch you next week. Monday we'll be back with Waypoint Radio. Listen to that. That'll go up today too. If you missed that earlier, that'll be on iTunes and Google Play and all of that. Otherwise, just have a good weekend, everybody. Peace.
Take it easy.